he locks the door behind us, and I think, holy I'm going to die. Strippers came down from the ceiling. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Rustage, and Koby is my favorite One Piece character.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Well, thanks for coming out, man.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
In your fun home.
It's an honor. It's my rap. It's gonna be my rap cave at Sunday.
Are you gonna rap one day? I'd love you to.
I love rap, like music, the genre. I don't feel like I have the confidence.
It's a skill. It's a learnable skill.
Is it?
It's such a learnable skill.
How do you get into it?
Oh gosh, how did I get into it?
Oh, let's kick things off. Yeah.
Okay. How I got into rap music was I was 13 years old. I was in a Skype call with two people. One person was rapping really badly, and the other person was like, your rapping is so bad, even Rustage could rap better than you. Like my grandma could bowl better than you. And I was like, well, maybe I can. So I wrote and recorded a rap, and I didn't know what to rap about at the time because I was just like a middle-class 13-year-old white kid. So it's exclusively about how much I hate Americans, which is not true. It's awful, and it's still on YouTube. If you saw my channel by Oldest, it's there. And I like sped my voice up a little bit, but it isn't that bad, especially for like the first ever rap of a 13-year-old kid. Like I'm on beat.
Like no practice, nothing like.
Yeah, I mean, just like I wrote it, recorded it, wasn't terrible. And there was a streamer I watched at the time who was also a rapper, and he heard that, and he was like, "Oh, you should keep it up." And so my first few raps I was doing to show him, for his validation. And then over time, I started making music about things that I enjoyed, and that started with like certain. I used to be a brony back in the day. That's the deep lore.
Wow. Okay, yeah. we're getting some real deep lore here.
Much like there's a few musicians now. The Living Tombstone. Like the Stupid Spendium. Like all of us, we used to be brony musicians back in the day.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And I mean, I was like 13, 14, so it made more sense for me. And I made a music about that fandom, but then I was just making music about things I enjoyed, which like video games like Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, and then anime and One Piece, because I've been a fan of One Piece since I was like 8. And then over the course of just doing that, at some point one of my songs blew up, and I was making music every week anyway. So then it just sort of, my audience grew from there.
Did you just put it on YouTube straight away?
Yeah, just everything I made went on YouTube. So my entire like development as an artist is on YouTube, which does mean there's a lot of really shit Rustage music out there, just garbage. My music didn't get good until 2021 at a minimum, and even then, it's shaky. And so there are like songs from like 2018, 2019 that people are like, I love this song. I'm like, how? It's awful. I will have fans come up to me and be like, man, I've been listening since this rap. And I was like, oh, you've been listening since I was shit then. And
it's like the awful classic YouTube experience where people like watch, I love that really old video of yours, and you're like, it was absolutely terrible, but thank you. It's like the music version of it.
So many musicians that you hear nowadays, obviously, there's so much time it takes for someone to be good at something, but most of that is like hidden away. So you hear a musician come out and it's like, oh, they've been working all their life at this, and you're hearing their best works now after 10 years of experience. But for me, I was putting stuff out as a child that was just horrendous, attempting to sort of capture some sort of audience with that. And I had for 7 years no audience. I made no money or anything off YouTube for 7 years, and then at some point,
so when you were like 20.
And then at some point it like blew up for me, and I would probably still be making music on YouTube even if it didn't make any money. I would just probably be doing it slower and having to do something else as well. And I always feel like that's the key to being like successful on any sort of platform, is to the only reason why you want to be successful at something is so that you can spend more time doing the thing that you enjoy anyway. And
at least that's how it should be.
There's so many people who get into doing content creation with the goal of making money, and I'm like, if your goal is to make money, there are better things to do. There are so many easier things to do to make money.
But it's funny that I always say this when people are like, what should I do? I just want to like grow a big channel, and like I don't like the filmmaking part of it. I just want to be big on YouTube. I'm like, go study finance.
And here's the one thing: when people always try and like appeal to an algorithm or whatever, the algorithm only tells you what was popular in the past. If you make the things that you are passionate about, that could blow up and create a new sort of algorithm, a new wave. Because I rapped about anime, right? And there were some people still doing it, but it wasn't, rapping about anime wasn't that big of a thing in terms of the way that I was doing it. So the style of anime rap that I do Some people have classified it as kind of like role play rap. I try and rap from the perspective of the character, but in a weird way where that character is also aware that they are a fictional character and aware of things that have happened in real life. It's like how in
Deadpool, basically.
Well, it's like in how epic rap battles of history, they know that they are a character and they're rapping from that. And there have been people, you know, who nerdcore is the genre I'm a part of, and there's nerdcore rappers who will rap about nerdy things in general, or they rap about anime in general. And there's a lot of there is a big scene in like Brazil and like Spanish speaking countries.
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, it's bigger than the English side of things, where they rap about anime characters from their point of view and such. But when I started doing it, there weren't that many people rapping about anime characters the way that I was. And then I had my Kakashi rap blew up. And now there's a lot of people rapping about anime the way that I was doing it. And honestly, a lot better than I am.
Really? I feel like you're pretty much at the top still.
I don't. Well, I feel like in terms of quality,
maybe I'm just not listening. I mean, I think you're pretty much the only person I do listen to.
There is a huge scene of people who rap. Well, nerdcore is the genre,
right?
And it's about lots of things. It doesn't have to just be anime. It can be video games or other stuff. And I mean, even I rap about historical things, and I did a Sherlock Holmes rap and other things that I'm interested in.
With the Benedict Cumberbatch.
No. The book Sherlock Holmes. I will not stand for this. BBC Sherlock does not exist in my eyes.
Not canon.
It's non-canon.
Not canon.
No, so there's a huge, and you have people like Daddy Fat Snaps, Fable, Schwabady, all of these guys who I think are infinitely better at rapping and producing music than I am, who unfortunately, because they started doing it a little bit later than me in terms of the specifically anime rap stuff, I feel like they deserve the audience that I have, if that makes sense. And some of them are getting there. Like,
I do feel like, I mean, you touch upon something very big, that you're only gonna break like new ground if you actually like risk something, because you never know if something is gonna actually, you know, work out or not, right? And
that's why it's so important to do things.
I think like for new creators who just want to get started, and I think the focus is still like whether it's like learning music or learning how to rap or making videos in general. I think imitating and, you know, like just finding inspiration is a good thing. But at some point, if you actually do want to have, especially now that like YouTube is
take inspiration from as many things as possible, right? Like I took
make
inspiration,
something new out of it, right?
Yeah. Like I'm not saying reinvent the wheel with the stuff.
No.
Obviously, you know, but when you take inspiration, it's because it's something that you enjoy, as opposed to it's something that is popular.
Right.
Like I was really into like Watsky when I was younger, because he's the white kid that raps fast. And I was like, I want to be a white kid that raps fast. I now understand there's more to it than just being a white kid that raps fast. But he was one of my big inspirations when I was younger, because I really liked his stuff. And not necessarily because he was that popular.
But then you didn't go ahead, right? I mean, you took like
and I combined it. Yeah,
right? Yeah.
All the best creativity is taking aspects of things that you enjoy and combining it to create something unique.
There's a great book called The War of Art is what it's called, yes, and it's kind of all about like stealing like an artist.
Yeah,
getting 100%. Inspiration, but like
because even the
greatest
greatest things, you know, like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Like Goku's inspired by both Sun Wukong and Superman.
Yes.
Like there's inspirations everywhere.
And then Luffy's inspired by Sun Wukong, right?
and inherently inspired
Dragon Ball
by Goku as well. And then you've got things now that are inspired by Luffy and One Piece and such.
I mean, even Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, is like, in a way, it's such a conglomerate of taking a lot of established anime tropes and kind of like having like very fun spin on things, right? So,
and it's like a game of telephone as things go down.
And
the
they
ages.
do get better, obviously, because you can't do the same thing. You gotta like, if you do something similar, you kind of gotta innovate in your own way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like staying on the YouTube side of things, because you talked about, you know, people getting into it and more people kind of like joining your niche.
Yeah.
Have you felt recently, because at least for the anime niche, and I know also for example, the science niche on YouTube, it's been kind of a little bit overrun with AI content. Has that been a problem for...
I think AI music... Okay, here's the thing. AI is not good at writing rap music yet.
No, okay.
It's garbage. You cannot do it because it doesn't understand the fundamentals. Okay. I have a thing called the 4 pillars of rap. This might be really boring, but I could tell you about
I love music theory.
These are my 4 pillars of rap for what makes a good rap song from a guy that probably
needs to rhyme.
from a British white guy. So the first one is rhyming.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people misunderstand about rhyming is that rhyming is rhyming stressed vowels. So it's like, the I's, the E's. So here's a good example. In feisty, the stressed vowels are I-E, I-E. So you can rhyme feisty with iced tea and it will rhyme, right? A lot of people really get holed up on like making sure the consonants match, and the consonants don't really matter because sonically you only really hear the stressed vowel.
Is that the Eminem concept, basically?
Well, yeah. I mean, people get really, when they say things like nothing rhymes with purple, and it's like so many things rhyme with hurtful. Because purple is an rhyme. So you just need, hurtful, wordle. These are all things that rhyme with purple. Orange as well is an ear. Orin, it's got the N sound there. So, but door hinge is the one that Eminem said. But like, these are all things that fundamentally rhyme. They don't have to use the exact same consonants because that's not how your brain processes rhymes. But this is the reason why I say it's stressed vowels, because some words don't have stressed vowels. So like
none?
Well, as in, no, they will, but they will have certain ones are stressed and some are unstressed. So you'd say, I don't off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of one
with no stress.
No, you see, you can cut out my thinking.
No, does it?
So pedigree. So pedigree is an The air and the E are stressed, but the middle syllable isn't. So pedigree, air to E. So when you're rhyming pedigree, you wouldn't rhyme that middle vowel.
Okay.
So your pedigree would rhyme with weaponry. So pedigree, weaponry. Air to E, air to E.
Okay.
And then you could say let it be. So you're only rhyming that first and last syllable.
I was going to say I'm going to write this down, but I do.
It's recorded.
Luckily, we're recording.
So that's and you could do that. You could do that across as many syllables as you want. So if let's say you see dead in the water, it's an air to the order, and those are the rhymes. So dead in the water led to the slaughter.
Okay.
Head of the author. Pen of the author. That's better.
Head of the order, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like
Does that work? No, maybe not.
So that's air to the order.
Okay.
Obviously, in an American accent, is water. So it's air to the but well, you get it. You understand. You understand.
Yeah,
so
of course.
And so that's fundamentally that's how rhymes work. And if a song is only rhyming one syllable, where it's like, "Here I am with a cat. He's got a really nice hat." It's like that sucks.
Gets boring.
And importantly, as well, is that sometimes you can have words that. You could end the line with the same word as long as the words before it are different and rhyme. So you can say, I see how to think of an example.
There we go. Put him on the spot a little bit here.
You could say, they don't get me, they'll never forget me. Oh no, that's get. Cut that. Shit, it's like thinking of rhymes on the spot. They cannot stop me. They will never drop me.
Okay.
Right? Even though I'm rhyming me with me, the actual rhyme there is stop and drop.
Okay.
So it's an oh-e, oh-e.
So the me doesn't
and that
matter,
works. Because the me is like saying, it's like saying really and
it doesn't have a stress, I guess, also, right?
There is a stress there, but it's fine. You're not fundamentally you're not rhyming me and me. You're rhyming drop and drop and stop. Anyway, so that's the first pillar.
Is flow a pillar?
So the second flow, second one is flow, and that's almost like imagine you're playing drums over a beat. If you just did the it'd sound boring. But the idea is you vary it up, and then that's like interesting, and then you would vary it up and you would expand on that and stuff like that. Very simple. You just want to have interesting flow patterns, is playing with the rhythm of it.
Are you just doing what you're feeling in the moment?
A lot of the times I will you'll have the instrumental and I will go like and I will scat something over the top of it, and then I will kind of have lyrics to match.
One person I'm like really into, like I've been into it, like listening to his stuff for like the last 3-4 years, who I think it has like insane flow, is GID. And he makes it sound so effortlessly. Effortlessly. It's so fun to listen to.
And there's so many different things you can do with that as well. And honestly, having a good rhyming base can help with flow, because if you know your flow is an to the auto rhyme, that helps with constructing it.
Yeah.
And then the third pillar is lyrical content, very important. Don't say nothing.
Nah.
So that could either be clever punchlines, fun things that you're saying, or it can be like something emotionally charged, like you're saying something important or you're getting across a message. Because otherwise, you could have incredible flow and incredible rhymes technically, but you're just saying gibberish. Right. And you're just saying, I hit him when I hit him a bit of, and that's what the lyrical miracle thing that people make fun of is because these people understand, they understand rhyming and they understand flow and all that, but they don't understand the lyrical content. So when a song has incredible lyrical content, but it still rhymes and it still flows well, that's when you're like, this is genius. Like, you could always imagine somebody just saying this, and then you've noticed the rhymes.
I gotta say something. I feel like as a German, a lot of German rap is exactly that. Like the first two, like the flow and the rhymes are really great.
Do you know
the content?
Do you know Bones MC?
Yeah, he's great.
I love Bones MC because he raps over Crazy Frog and he rapped over I'm Blue.
You did. I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's about police lines.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, but I like it. And then the final one is delivery, because if you just do it monotone, which I had an issue when I started out, I did a lot of because I was trying to be cool, so I just rap and I would go and it would just sound awful. But now you try and vary up the way that you deliver it. In a way, it's just like adding inflections, delivering it in different ways to make it interesting, and it's not just monotone flat.
Probably right. Yeah.
And also when you're doing editing it, you could do things like panning stuff or doing lots of vocals and different ad-libs and ways that make it sound interesting from that point of view.
Do you do your own backup rap?
Yeah, I do everything. I produce everything myself.
Oh, really?
All the beats produce everything. All the beats are me. Produce everything myself. Write all my raps, and I often will get a featured artist to sing a hook. Sometimes I write that. Sometimes I let them write it, and a lot of the time it's collaborative. And
how do you find people? I'm very curious in general how music collabs on YouTube work compared to maybe just doing a regular video collab. Do you just reach out to people, or do people reach out to you?
I'm oftentimes I will find a singer that I like who is often in that nerdcore scene as well. They make music, and I'll message them and say, "Hey, do you want to do a hook on this song about this character?" And they'll go, "Yeah," and then I will send it to them, and I'll be like, "Blah blah blah blah," and that's kind of how it works. Nice. And there's a few people I've worked with quite frequently. I have a friend called Maguire, who I've maybe done 20 songs with, because he's really good at writing and singing, and he's also really quick. So if it's I need a chorus by tomorrow, he's like, I got you. 10 minutes later, here you go. Nice. I'm like, Maguire, thank you so much.
That's insane.
Have a good day.
Are you pretty strict when it comes to are you not this? It's good, but you gotta let's record it again. Or?
Used to be when I'm quite I would say, I'm not saying nervous, but I don't like upsetting people. I always don't and it's, so when I was younger, a few years ago, if somebody sent me a chorus that was bad, I would just be like, okay, yeah. And then I would just run with it. But nowadays I am way more, if something doesn't work, I will, and usually we can fix it. The biggest issue I find is sometimes I'll get someone to write a chorus and they've kind of just written a verse. If there's a key, it's it's not catchy enough. It's this is fine, but there's no repetition here. You've kind of just rambling.
Right.
And then usually you just pick a part that I did like and we just add repetition and fix it, and then it's fine.
Do you feel like a hook specifically, does it need to have something a little bit melodical to it, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, a hook needs to be catchy. It's the key part of it, right?
So it can be just, even if it's just a
rap hook. Yeah, I do rap hooks all the time, where I'm not singing, but it's catchy. I did a Uma Musume track recently.
Ooh, I heard that. I listened to that.
And and that's got a catchy hook because I'll be writing for my horse girls. Horse girls.
Love that one.
Yeah. But those are the 4 pillars of rap. And if you have a song that has, and these are my 4 pillars, other people will have more experienced people than me will have better ways of explaining it. But I
felt like it was pretty straightforward.
I see if you have those 4 and your song covers them, then it'll be great.
Nice.
It'll be good.
The video is now going to be titled
Everything
You Need to Know About Rap in 30 minutes.
From the least qualified guy.
I haven't even done the intro properly to the podcast.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
But since this was fire. Well, since this is drink sake,
okay,
we have the big Sakazuki cups.
Oh, very exciting.
So let me pour you some.
God, I'm worried about spilling it.
No, you good. There you go. Let's not get you too drunk here. It's only 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Cheers. I think they're actually meant to be spilled, if anything.
Okay.
It's like the very. Did you have sake before?
I took too much of it at once.
It's a big.
Because it's big.
Big cup.
It just started choking.
And now rap very quickly.
Yeah. Have been running marathons at sprint times, ignite. All of my fibers, I do it king size, sit tight. We keep it working way after midnight. Total domination, play the game like this is Civ 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
We should do the one. What's the format where you just have a list of words and you kind of gotta.
Oh gosh, I'm a terrible freestyler.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty good.
That wasn't a freestyle.
Okay.
That's one of my songs.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm a terrible freestyler. I mean, me and my friends, we do play a game, which is the rhyme game, where you will pick a rhyme, like a word, and then have to just come up with as many rhymes that come up with it. And usually it's something complicated, like syllabically.
Okay.
And that's freestyle practice in a way, but it's difficult.
Do you speak a little bit Japanese? You do, right?
Oh, not really.
Like the basics, though, a little bit, right?
Yeah, konnichiwa.
So you know how the hiragana, katakana work and everything. So in Japanese, there's a game where you say a word and then you have to take the last syllable.
Oh yes, I've heard of this.
Yeah, use the next word, and then you lose if the word ends in N.
Yes. I do know about this. I think there's a similar thing in Korea as well.
It sounds a little bit similar like that.
I love to play word games.
Dude.
I love to play word games.
I do want to move towards One Piece, but before we get there, I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about. I mean, it's 2025, so we're like a year and a half late. But how involved were you in the entire Drake,
in the what?
The Drake and Kendrick drama last year? I was kind of curious to like talk about that for like with someone who knows about rap.
Well, there will be people who are more
suitable.
No. I definitely think so. I mean. Oh, boo Drake, yay Kendrick. Like, what do you want from me? I was never that much of a fan of Drake's music to begin with.
Right.
But that's just a personal preference thing. Kendrick Lamar, I like his music. Good stuff. Right. What do you want from me? I am not I
was like, maybe you have like a unique perspective on it since you write music yourself.
No, I'm sure you know more than me.
No,
I think the songs, I think Kendrick's music was very good.
Okay. Are you like following like regular rap a lot, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of rap music and such.
Do you have like some artists where you feel like they're underrated, or like?
I don't know if he's underrated. So Stormzy is one of my favorites because he's British, and I'm a big British rap fan in general. Like so
what's what's the Boots song?
Big for Your Boots.
Thank you.
It's good. The thing is, fundamentally, I am also just a nerd, and like I make nerdcore music because I also really like nerdcore music. I like listening to raps about these things that I enjoy because it's part of the enjoyment for me. When I make nerdcore music, it's not because this thing's popular so I want to make a song about it. Like originally,
like you want to talk about something.
It was because it's so much fun to take an anime character or like a thing and be like, how would this sound musically? And then how could I, what could I do in terms of writing the lyrics to encapsulate this character?
How is it when you make the beat also?
Yeah. Like that's one of the main.
For some characters, like if you say like Luffy Gear 5, right? It's kind of like, drums seems like an obvious theme.
My Luffy Gear 5 track, I banged my head against the wall for ages for it.
Oh, really?
I just really like struggled.
Really?
Well, just because I knew what I wanted and I couldn't do it.
Okay.
And I still don't know. I still don't like my Goofy.
Really? I think it's pretty good.
My Luffy Gear 5. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, I like it. I loved it, actually.
I'm glad that you like it. I think the hook, I wrote the hook, and I think it's a bit boring. I like the post hook where Stoops does the like is really good. But the that bit.
You won't ever stand alone. Even when our morals have been shaken, I ain't ever breaking. Drums of liberation sound. I won't ever stop until we make it. Rising to occasion, drums of liberation sound.
I think it's so
Really?
It's so like
I think it has like the nice like a little bit of a
maybe. I think
rhythm.
I would do it differently. And instrumentally, I'm quite happy with it. But it's difficult because I wanted to do something cartoony and like electro swingy. But then I couldn't quite get the sound I wanted, so I went for this more. I don't know. It was a tricky song, I'll tell you that.
Interesting. Okay,
took a long time.
As like a viewer, I would have guessed that this would be maybe one of the easier ones to produce because it kind of gives you a theme. Like for example, I'd be curious if you have a character like if I gave you a random One Piece character like Kaido, right? Let's say Kaido.
Kaido is easy, right? I would 100% just do very percussion focused. I would have samples of chants in the background. I wouldn't have any singing choruses. The hook would be like some sort of rap hook with an audience thing. It'd be
like a bit primal.
To be honest, with Kaido, I might even do. Sometimes I will do these tracks where it's like a hook, one really long verse, and then a hook at the end, as opposed to there being the hook throughout. That's what I might do for Kaido because I did that for Doflamingo.
Yeah,
and it works really well for villains. I did it for Joker as well for Batman because it just lets the villain essentially monologue in rap form, and that could be a lot of fun. So that's what I would do for Kaido.
Okay.
I did a Yonko track, and I felt like Kaido there worked.
Yeah. I don't remember. I'm not sure if I saw the Yonko one. Okay, interesting. So you just go with like the vibe. Like for example, like I think if you threw me a One Piece character, I think it would definitely take me a while, depending on the person, maybe, to like come up with a musical theme or like a concept. I mean,
I'm quite happy with some of the stuff I've done recently. And sometimes I'll take things in a direction I don't think people expect because I want to do something unique, right? Because there's different ways you can take certain characters. Because some characters you can go one way and make it more emotional. And some characters you could, with the same character, you can make something that's... Itachi is a really good example. Itachi, you can make a song about Itachi that's like really grounded in the emotion of his betrayal of the village and, you know, his kind of outlook on life and the care for his brother. But on the other hand, you can make a I'm cool Akatsuki Genjutsu ninja song.
Right.
And either of those would be a good direction.
How would you choose? Like, would you say, okay, I'm gonna look for some instruments that are very Naruto?
Yeah, it's all
like
flutes.
Flutes.
Half of my Naruto tracks, it's like, what sort of flute can I use here?
I think it's kind of fun with One Piece. Even I'm actually not. I think I definitely listened to it when it came out, your Doflamingo one, but I don't remember what the actual beat was. Was it strings? Like Spanish, a little bit inspired? Or?
Yeah. 100%. You got 2 more minutes. Oh, I'm not supposed to call it out.
No, you don't have to. You can't.
Yeah, it's strings. Because it's his Devil Fruit is all about using strings and stuff. And he's like a marionette sort of thing. So I wanted that master, kind of like puppet master, that orchestral like conductor of the orchestra kind of vibe to it.
See, my thought would have gone to like Dressrosa is like Spain
I just think that he's more of an occupier of Dressrosa than a native of Dressrosa. Yeah. So I feel like it didn't make any sense for him to have the Dressrosa type beat. I felt like it made more sense for him to be the string thing. But I would totally get it if you did. And to be honest, I'd done so much of that like flamenco guitar for Shanks and like Ace and Luffy and like all of these characters.
Okay, so can I just throw like 2 or 3 characters at you and you tell me what you would do?
I will do my best. I'll tell you what.
And then and then you can tell me if you already did one.
You've already did
I like messed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you definitely did Attack on Titan before.
Yeah.
What about a Gojo rap?
I've definitely done Gojo.
You've done Gojo.
Yeah.
How would you approach?
I went quite silly with my Gojo track, I'll be honest. But with my Gojo track, I would say is the instrumentally it's quite is ethereal the word? It's got,
I think I know what you mean.
It's got a ghostly vibe to it, but it's grime, so it has a grime bass and drum, so it's quite intense. But the instruments around it are quite like spirit, I don't know, ghostly. But I was really silly with the lyrics for that one. I obviously reference a lot of Gojo stuff, but I also reference a lot of British things.
Okay.
I reference Balamori, which is a kids' TV show where a bunch of people live in different colored houses. So there's an orange person who lives in an orange house and a blue person. And I said painting the walls red like it's Balamori. It's a line because it's blood. I referenced Sillet Bang, which is an old commercial. Bang and the dirt is gone.
We had a similar thing.
You must have had a similar thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just thought like Gojo's a little silly. Like Gojo has that kind of vibe where he's, at least in the earlier seasons, where he's, he could fuck you up, but he's kind of goofy about it. And I wanted that vibe where it was like, it's quite an intense rap, but he's being a bit silly with the lyrics.
In a goofy way.
I think one of the lines is, "I got men hunting me like I'm a clitoris."
And they don't know where he is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let me try. Did you do all the Straw Hats? No, right?
I haven't done.
What about Chopper?
I haven't done Chopper.
Well, how would you approach Chopper?
Chopper.
Would you like play with the like small and cute going to?
Yeah, so I would definitely want to. It's hard sometimes with with rap music, as you can't really do something that's too cutesy. That's not like, there's kind of different directions to take it. I think I would do something along the rumble ball front, and I would probably actually, and it may not be like, this is not taking a lot from Chopper, but I would want to do a fun upbeat rap song with like a rap hook. So it'd be sort of 110 BPM, it's like and then it would have a hook that would be like, I'm coming into rumble, hit it with a da, but a da da da, but I did a rumble, but I don't know. It'd probably be better than that. and then you'd do the verses, which would be, and I would reference all the different points and do that sort of stuff. And it would be fun and upbeat if you've like my song Kami or VIP, like one of those songs, but for Chopper, I think
could be fun also to maybe like evolve the song from like more like upbeat and then going to like
I know what you mean. There is a thing where it's like, do you want your song to be more focused on being a good song or more of a like, you're like almost a performance piece? Because some people will have songs that like change a lot throughout it because it's more something that you consume as like a video auditory experience, but it doesn't quite work as like a song that you would like loop. And you're trying to find that balance with a lot of stuff.
Okay, so you do want to make sure that it's definitely something that you could.
That's something people still enjoy listening to.
Okay. Do people like consume your content mostly just like in audio form then, like YouTube Music or something?
It's Spotify and such.
Spotify also,
Spotify. Well, I'd say in the last year or so, for sort of the first time, Spotify has been doing better than me than YouTube.
Interesting.
And I think that's just, there's lots of different reasons for that, but And it's good because Spotify pays better than YouTube for music.
Doesn't it?
Well, here's the thing. YouTube ad revenue, as you may know, works based on watch time. So when you have a longer video, even like an hour-long video, then it's going to make more money than a 2-minute long song.
Well, if people watch it for an hour.
Yeah. Obviously, if people watch it for an hour, if people actually watch it. And so because my music is so short and takes quite a lot of effort to make it, it's similar to animation on YouTube. It's the reason why that died out. It is kind of the worst content to make money on YouTube, but the benefit of being a musician is that you don't have to make money off YouTube. You have Spotify, you have iTunes, you have all these other avenues.
I was always suspecting that potentially if like the big advantage of making music is that it's a video that people can just watch 20 times.
I guess they can watch it over and over again, but it's still like, watching a 2-minute song 10 times is still the same as watching one 20-minute video.
I guess so.
And that's if somebody watches it 20. But Spotify pays per stream.
Interesting.
So, and even though it's a tiny amount and lots of people complain about it, that's still better.
I was about to bring that up. I know a lot of people complain about Spotify.
Lots of people complain about it, but it's still better than...
Has that not changed? I was thinking because I personally do use YouTube Music. I'm
YouTube
probably
Music's fun
the
as well.
only person in the world.
That's fine too. That's fine. Anything like that.
Do they pay better for music?
I think so. Okay. I don't know the exact details.
That'd be kind of interesting to see if like a stream on YouTube Music actually does better than
maybe
a click.
Yeah, I think it does. I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just know that Spotify is better than YouTube. So if you want to support me, stream my music on Spotify. Well,
Apple Music?
Yeah, if you buy something on iTunes, like that's obviously going to give me more money because it's actual purchase, but you shouldn't do that because you could just stream it.
Is that still a thing as iTunes?
People still do it, but not often.
Actually, recently, well, not even that recently, last year, I did get a record player, and it's been crazy fun, especially here in Japan, that has like this big vintage scene to just go in and like browse albums. I should
probably put stuff on CDs and stuff. Just can't be bothered with anime conventions anymore because it's not listen
honestly, like I would get your stuff on
well, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you actually listen to my music because I feel like a lot, I'm quite nervous when I show people my music because it's like, what if they hate it? What if they,
but I feel like that's something I can relate to because it's probably similar to like, you make videos about One Piece. It's like,
yeah.
I recently met someone from my high school, and I told them what I do, and they were like, oh, so you don't have a job? I was like, fair enough.
It's like really hard.
Really worried.
It's so hard to explain what I do to people, like when I'm at the barbers or whatever. And they will say, what do you do? And I was like, I rap, but about anime. No, it's not in the anime. It's about it. Like it's so complicated. I've been going to this hairdresser, and I will tell you this: 7th time I've been there. As I left, he went, "Nice to meet you." It's like, bro, you. I do not leave an impression on this guy.
Like, fantastic.
Oh god. Anime conventions, genuinely, for me, they are. If I've got like a table, they are not fun enough to be worth it as like a fun thing to do, and they don't make enough money or like for it to be worth it as like a job. Like I'd rather just stay at home and make music.
It's so hilarious that you say that. Like this is the exact same thing I say about streaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not enough fun. I want to do it in my free time, and it's not worth it.
Here's the thing: everything I do, everything I've done, is I did it because it was something I was passionate about and I wanted to make. And it just happened to be successful, and which I'm very grateful for, very lucky. And I made music about anime characters because I liked anime, I liked making music, and I liked specifically doing that. So I did that. I run D&D on my Twitch. I stream it. I run my One Piece themed D&D series. I had an Isekai themed D&D series. And I ran these series because I enjoyed running D&D, and it was a fun to run a D&D thing for an audience, except for when they post,
memes.
multi-page Reddit threads about how all my characters are shit. But
we don't count Reddit. We don't count Reddit.
But I really enjoy doing that, and it just happened to be that people enjoyed watching it. And like I don't need to do the D&D. Like I could stop doing D&D now, and it's not like the music's enough for me. But I do it because it's something I'm passionate about, and it's fun.
And I think that's probably why it works for you, right? Because it's something like it was more you wanted an outlet to show.
I love creating things.
Yeah, and
I have a card game, which I wish I brought with me, but it's a card game. You play between 2 players. The characters are all from my D&D series, and I made that because I really wanted to, and I try and keep. I'm a terrible business person. I'm awful at all the business side of things, and I'm selling this card game, but I'm selling it as cheaply as possible because I just want people to be able to play it. And I think I made a loss because I commissioned so many different artists and their commercial rights and all of that, and I did all of this just so I could make this thing so that people could enjoy it and play it. And I've not done any of the Excel spreadsheets to see if it was profitable. I just did it because I wanted to.
Nice. Did people buy it though?
I sold 4,000,
nice.
Which is really good.
then you probably made a profit.
Maybe. But I see people, especially in the content creator space, who are so good at like planning all these business things. And I have never done a sponsored video.
I was about to ask that.
Never done a sponsored video because it doesn't work for music because I can't do a 30-second ad read at the start of the beginning.
You can dedicated video about VPN servers. You can do the VPN rap.
And half of the stuff that people do sponsored videos about, I would never do a thing about Honkai Star Rail because I fundamentally disagree with gacha games.
Well, great. There goes the sponsor. Speaking of which. Thanks to the sponsor of this.
Is this video sponsored?
No, I'm just kidding.
I just like.
But
people,
that would be hilarious.
People can enjoy it. I don't have a problem with people enjoying, and it's not the worst thing in the world. But I don't want to advertise a product where I don't agree with it because I don't like it because I feel like it's gambling for children, which I know is an extreme thing to say, but it's like.
So you wouldn't sponsor Mr. Beast?
No. So yeah, no, none of that. Like you can enjoy Honkai Star Rail. It's an incredible game. I know lots of people who really enjoy it. They have so much money. It better be good. And I'd like even like G Fuel stuff, right? Like the energy drink stuff. It's like I feel it's weird to sell energy drinks for people who are spending the whole time sitting down.
Gotta get the blood pumping somehow.
It just doesn't feel great.
No. But even if you let's say you had a product that you really vibe with, even then it's kind of hard to integrate into music, right?
The only way I would do it is through my D&D, just because it's like a longer form content, but nobody wants to sponsor my D&D because it's by far my less popular side of my content. It's fine.
Okay. Don't want to dwell on this for too long, but I'm kind of curious. Do people like when you get requests for sponsorships and you're like, these are music videos. I can't do oh, by the way, let me quickly take a break from the hook here. Right? Like,
hope you're enjoying the song.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
have you been getting have people been getting creative in the emails trying to pitch you how to do this?
I don't really get the pitch. I think people would.
I was like, how about you do can you? I mean,
obviously,
sneak our product into.
No. Obviously,
you know what Luffy would use.
Obviously, Hoyoverse have messaged me many times, being like, make a song about one of our things, and I just ignore the emails. I just don't do them. Just fine. I'm very happy that I don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That I just think.
Yeah, it never popped into my head when you mention it that it must be so different, like the entire concept, as you say, of making this a living and making this a job as a musician. Yeah. But I guess you do have the upside that you do have Spotify and
and also I'm not much of a personality, much to the chagrin of this, right? I don't like, people enjoy the things that I make. They don't enjoy me as a person because I'm not really in.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm not like there. Lots of people will build.
I know what you mean. Like it's more about
people will build a YouTube audience and people where it's like they know who you are, right?
Well, you've done live performances.
I've done live performances. I'm not saying
it's not like no one knows who I am.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's not my content. People enjoy the things that I create. Well, take Tekking, for example. His content is his personality, and he's great, right? And so you watch him because you enjoy Tekking. A lot of time, people just enjoy my music. They don't. A lot of people don't know what I look like. I have posted like a selfie or something on my YouTube community page, and people be like, "You don't sound like you wear glasses. Like, you're white. Like, brother,
what a wild comment.
I might be the whitest man you'll ever hear in your life."
I mean, I kind of feel what you're saying. I think that's actually something that I've been exploring a little bit myself, like over the last year. Because my content was One Piece, and I never saw myself as. But you're
definitely, you put your face in your content. You're definitely more of like a presence.
Yes, I think so. But I feel like I never really saw it that way. I feel like now I've had more fun. Also putting, like, especially when I started out YouTube, I was like very careful not putting too much opinion, I guess, into my content too. Maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's something, but it's kind of fun, and I do feel. I mean, again, I've known about your channel for probably since I've been doing YouTube too, so like 6-7 years, right? So
back when I was shit.
See the good old. Do you get a lot of comments who's like, I prefer his old stuff.
Sometimes, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, are you? What it actually is, when people say that about a lot of stuff, it's not because they prefer older things. It's because they were younger when they listened to those things, and it had more of a connection to them then. They miss the feeling.
The nostalgia.
Because if it was the reverse, if I put out the song I made now, then, and the song then, now, they'd say the same thing. Right? It's actually not about that. It's the
feeling you have with it.
It's that feeling. It's because you were 13 when you listened to that song,
and you
are 20 now
after school. And you were listening to it.
Yeah, it's just that there were songs I listened to when I was like 10 that I thought was amazing, and I would still bump. But I think if I listened to it now fresh, I would be like, it's okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff like that. I mean, that's the same thing for me with gaming. Like, whenever I try to get back into games, I usually like pick up stuff I was like so passionate about when I was younger, and then it just doesn't quite hit.
Doesn't click the same.
It's the classic, But
you're right. I do perform sometimes.
I wanted to ask you about
I did a tour a couple years ago. Oh my gosh.
When are you coming to Japan?
I would love to. I don't know if I can, but I'd love to, because I've done some songs with Tomomak Kyo.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I would love to perform with Tomomak Kyo on stage at some point, because we've done like 3 or 4 songs together now.
Right, yeah.
But I did a little like mini West Coast tour. So it was Megaran. My friend Megaran was hosting it, and I was opening for him because I don't want to organize any of that because that's too much work. And holy shit, so much stuff happened. So Portland, let me tell you, Portland, they double booked the venue. So that they had a show on right after our performance without telling us. So genuinely, this is what happened. I was on stage. I finished performing. I said, thank you everyone for coming. As I left, the lights went dark. and then like pink and red. Strippers came down from the ceiling. A woman walked on stage half naked, started hula hooping fire. The place turned into a strip club. There was no, like, you know, there was no break. There was like, warning, this is now going to be a strip club. So my audience who were there thought it was part of my set. And I had to go into the...
or maybe your producer was like, you know,
let's spice this up.
Daniel's pretty good, but we got to give the people something.
So then I went into the green room, and there were like 8 half-naked women in the green room, and I had to be like, I'm so sorry, I just need to get my Nintendo Switch and my pirate outfit. And they're like pointing and laughing at me. Crazy. It felt like a nightmare. And I had lots of weird...
It's probably while the military is there now in Portland, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about anything happening in that regards. But then, oh gosh, Gallup, New Mexico. So... let me tell you about Gallup, New Mexico. So Gallup is a small town in New Mexico. It has like a population of like a couple thousand. And we had to do a show there because we were driving and we couldn't get a venue in Albuquerque, and it was the closest place. Show went terribly.
I gotta say, I never heard about Gallup.
Exactly, right. It's on Route 66. But show went terribly. That's not the point. Whilst I was doing sound checks, the lighting technician comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, do you want to come and sign my wall? I get all the artists who perform here to sign it." And I went, "Yeah, sure," because I assumed it was somewhere in the venue.
I think I remember this.
Yeah. I assumed it was somewhere in the venue. So he leads me out the back door.
Is that the mannequins?
Yeah. He leads me out the back door and down an alleyway. And I'm thinking, this isn't what I expected. But, you know, I've already said yes.
You were like, there's like this wall of artists who perform.
Yeah. This isn't what I expected, but I've already said yes, and I don't want to be rude. So he leads me into a warehouse building through this door. We go inside, it's dark, there's random stuff all over the place, like furniture, etc. And then he locks the door behind us, and I think, holy shit, I'm going to die. Because... my phone is on charge in the venue and nobody knows where I am. Oh, no. So I'm like, I'm in this place with this random stranger. To his credit, there was a wall of signatures. So I rush it over, I sign it as quick as possible. And as I'm signing it, he says, "You didn't say hello to Julia." And I'm like, "Julia?" I turn around, I see this figure on the couch. I'm like, thank God there's somebody else here. As I approach the figure, I realize that it's not a person. It's a life-sized silicone sex doll that he starts talking to like it's a real person.
Like it's his girlfriend. No.
And then he full on slaps its breasts and asks me to do the same. And I'm like, this guy is crazy.
It's like, I better do it.
I gotta fucking do it. So I'm like, "Hi, Julia, tap." And I got tears in my eyes.
Can I please go now?
Well, eventually he does let me out, which is why I'm still alive today.
That's why you're here.
Which is why I'm free.
That was a spoiler.
Yeah. But we leave a different way we came in. We had to leave through these big double doors. And he had to undrill these blocks of wood from the double door to let me out. But he didn't fucking tell me that. So I'm like, "Please, I gotta go back. Can I go back and do sound checks?" And he doesn't say anything. He just pulls out a drill and looks at me. And I'm like, "Well, he's gonna drill out my organs. This is where it ends in Gallup, New Mexico."
Oh my God.
Genuinely wept when I got out of that.
Oh God, that sounds like a good script for a bad movie.
It's okay.
Like, if that wasn't a movie, I'd be like, come on, like that doesn't happen.
The thing is, in hindsight, the reason why we went
signatures and their org.
It's your final signature before you die. The reason why he locked the door when we came in was because he knew we were going. That's the back door. We were going to go out the front door.
But you need to drill open. Of course.
I don't.
Like, hey, you could have thought about it.
Yeah, but he didn't if he had only communicated with me, if he had only been like, "Don't worry."
Honestly, if he had told you that, you would not have gone.
I would have brought someone with me.
It's like, by the way, I'd like you to.
The thing is, Mega Man, who I was with, can attest to this story because he saw the sex doll, but it was when he saw it, the doors were wide open. So there was not an aura of murderer, there was just an aura of crazy guy, which is very different.
There was light. There was light in the scene. Oh my God.
But besides that, the tour was great.
Literal nightmare.
The problem with the tour, though, was that I was going to so many places in America, but we would get there, do sound checks, perform, and then sleep, and then wake up early, and then drive to the next place. So I went to Las Vegas. I was like, oh my God, Las Vegas. And I didn't get to do anything. I barely got to see the place. I just had to perform, and then I left.
Back to bed.
Yeah. And
how was doing like live music compared to just, being in your studio?
It is so hard to memorize all of my fucking lyrics. I have so many lyrics, and I'm a stupid man. I cannot memorize things. And so many, it's a lot of lyrics, and a lot of it is quite densely like rhyme-wise. It's a lot of changes in the, quite similar lines and all of this that it's so hard. It's so hard. Especially because the time I have to dedicate to learning my lyrics is time taken away from writing new ones. And so that is always it. What if I
do you sit down and write flashcards?
Gosh, there's so many different techniques I've tried. I've tried writing it out and doing all this stuff, and it just takes time. It takes so much time, especially when you have a really long set list with lots of songs in it.
Did it like work well though when you did a live performance?
When I know my lyrics, I think performing is pretty good. I think I perform pretty well. I have been told that I have pretty good breath control on stage. I don't run out of breath, which is good
and difficult. I assume
and difficult.
Also,
and so I've, except for a Denver, Colorado, which they didn't tell me at the time, that is like 2,000 meters above sea level. So it's like that you got less oxygen there, and nobody told me that. So I'm performing on stage going, oh, what's wrong with me? And afterwards I have to be like, I'm so sorry guys, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I was so shit today. And they would be like, don't worry.
We're high up.
We're high up.
That's crazy. I feel like because if you threw me on some stage, I have like a skill that I honed in my high school years, where I'm pretty good at, just freestyling my stuff when I
like hosting?
Talk and present.
I've had to do that before.
But then if you need to actually perform a song and you actually like have a blackout for a second, that seems pretty scary.
Yeah. Well, you get used to it. Yeah. I don't perform too often. I like, because of the like having to memorize lyrics thing, and also a lot of my songs have featured artists, which I don't have with me at all times.
True. Do you just do playback, or?
I just don't perform a lot of those. It depends on the song. Sometimes if there's a back and forth, I will, or I like cut it down. It's because I can't sing. Never been a good singer. I can write choruses.
I've also been told learnable.
Yeah, but
we gotta go to karaoke.
So I can't sing any of these songs live, and sometimes I'll bring like a Maguire along, and he can sing a lot of the choruses. But yeah,
that's cool. I kind of wanted to like do a complete curve because you brought it up already, but to be completely frank, I watched your like the One Piece D&D that you did with Tekking, like sporadically whenever like I had like time to like doing thumbnails or something. Yeah. So I haven't seen all of it, but it's been like something that's been really fun to just also put on in the background. That you watched
it, especially because the early episodes I think are pretty rough.
How did it all like? How did you just one day wake up and are like, I want to do a D&D? Let me ask some people.
So I've always been I've been a DM since like 2015. Like I ran D&D for friends and such, and I actually ran a pirates themed D&D campaign for a bunch of friends that I just ripped off One Piece, but none of my friends knew what One Piece was.
Okay.
And so
that's crazy. That's a crazy
story. So I instead of having devil fruits, I had like these stones that if you touch, you would get powers, and it would like, and I had, I had these pirates and I had the Marines, but it was my own world, right? Everything was original. It was just very much based on One Piece, just to see if it would work as a setting.
Nice.
And it really did. It really did work as a setting. And it was one of the most fun like D&D experiences I had. I was like, I really want to do this as like a streaming thing. And I just had the people I ran One Piece D&D for, I didn't know that well when I did that first episode.
Oh, it was how did you just reach out to people?
Yeah. So I talked to Tekking a little bit. I had breaks mostly because of the like back in the day with the Rank Cafe podcast.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a blast from the
I know, right? So I knew them. So, but like a lot of them I hadn't properly hung out with. I just sort of was vague. And I was like, "Are you interested in doing this thing?" And they're like, "Sure." And so we did it, and it really
was it originally just one episode. And
so I wanted it to be more than one. Like we had planned to do it.
Kinda, yeah.
So the thing is, again, because it was something I enjoyed. I didn't really care if it did well. I was going to do it, but it probably wouldn't have gone for as long. And after about the first 5 episodes, it's really started blowing up, and people started really enjoying it and coming into the lives and such. And and now that's been a thing that I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Yeah, is it 5 years already?
I think so.
That's crazy.
So One Piece D&D finished.
Yeah, you have a new one right now.
Yeah, and now we're doing the Marine series, which is the sequel series, which is very good, very fun. And then I did Isekai, and literally, I don't know when you're uploading this. Do you know?
Probably next week, maybe.
So November 6th, I'm starting my space Pirates D&D series. It's not One Piece themed, but it's so this is a big risk for me because all my previous ones have been loosely anime related, like the genre of isekai. I've made my own original alien species, my own original universe, and it's complete sci-fi, and it's gonna be me teching Josh Strife Hayes, if you're aware of Josh Strife Hayes, Schwabadi and Connor Quest, who are two musicians I work with quite a lot, friends of mine, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm quite nervous about it because, it's really banking off the fact that people are interested in watching my D&Ds as opposed to One Piece D&D.
I'm sure people are going to tune in.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like a bit of a mix of people also who are like, oh, I just wanted to watch the One Piece stuff. But, on the other side, there might just be now new people who are just interested to see how the world pans out and everything.
It'll be fun. Yeah. It will be a lot of fun.
How much prep goes into making one of these episodes?
So, okay. The way that you run D&D is a lot of it is quite improvised, right? Because you don't know what the players are going to do. Right. But so I have a triple P system. That's what I do. It's people, places, purposes. So you have
I can tell you're a system type of
So no, you have all the NPCs and you know what they want or what they want to do, and you know the locations and what are in those locations.
Right.
So the people, the places, and then the purposes of what they want to do, and the story derives from how the players interact with it, and you get. It seems pretty daunting at first, but as you go along with it, it's pretty easy to know this is what's going to happen. Like, they ended last episode about to fight this boss. The next episode is going to be fighting that boss, right? So I can plan that. You sort of plan on a week-by-week basis.
And then do you just have a timer, or do you try to find like a natural?
So we run 2 hour episodes usually, and sometimes
you're like, oh, we gotta like this took longer than expected. Let's like
sometimes, but a lot of times it's you could find a good ending point, because sometimes even if in the middle of a battle or whatever and stuff like that, it's a lot of fun. The great thing about D&D is that you can only plan so far ahead in terms of what the villains or what things are happening in the universe, but you can take things that happen quite early on and repurpose it. And there's a really good example of that in Marines, which I'll tell you, is that one of the characters, he sort of made up on the spot this like old scientist friend of his that he used to work with, and I was able to incorporate that into the story at like a juncture point where one of his technology was confiscated from him, from this old scientist friend. And over the course of like the next like 20 or 30 episodes, lots of small things happen, and until eventually that old scientist friend becomes one of the big bad villains because he's trying to create like this robot army, right? And
unrelated to anything happening in One Piece.
Unrelated. So it takes place about 20 years before One Piece.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. That's it. For people who don't know, my One Piece D&D series takes place 20 years before One Piece, and it's in the universe, but because One Piece universe is so wide and there's so many things happening, it's their own original pirate crew, they're doing their own things, and there'll be stuff that's tangentially linked, like they'll go to a place that's like
Easter eggs kind of basically.
And like in terms of canon characters, I'll tell you, there's been 3, a young Rosinante, Capone Beige.
It's random.
And I think Bluno
Okay.
Makes an appearance at one point.
Nice.
But I think it's like an alternate timeline version of him. I do a lot of crazy stuff.
That's really cool, though. I mean,
they go to space at one point.
It's not too crazy. There are space pirates.
Well, exactly, right? Yeah. So they go to space.
Yeah.
And I have this whole arc. This is my favorite arc of all of it is the space arc.
I mean, I think in general, like what you're saying, like taking a world like One Piece, which has so many unexplored. You can basically, as you say, like create your own little world.
Make your own devil fruits. Yeah. You could do so much with that. Have your own. I did a lot of exploring the underbelly, the underbelly, the underbelly, like because I had an assassination organization called
like the underworld,
yeah, because that's mentioned in One Piece, but it's not fully explored. So I have this assassination organization called the Eight Flames. And I really like the anime trope of having numbered organizations.
That's nice.
And I have all of this stuff. Gosh, do
you have like a folder back somewhere at home?
I have like all Google documents that are very scattered and sporadic and things all over the place. Nice.
That is so awesome.
I'm not very neatly organized. I'm very scattered.
I sadly never had the pleasure of actually playing D&D before, but I've always been very intrigued by the idea.
You'd love it.
Though I will say, I think as much fun as being a player seems to be, I think being I
much prefer being a DM.
Seems super
I enjoy it a lot. I think, I don't know. being a player, it's so dependent on how good the DM is.
Yeah.
When you're a DM, you know it's always going to be good because you're the DM.
And you get to make the stuff up.
Yeah, I love seeing how players react to the things I put in front of them and stuff like that. I will say it is stressful to run a One Piece themed D&D series live in front of an audience because there are 3 categories of things that people will pick you up on, which is if you get any One Piece lore stuff wrong, if you get any D&D rule stuff wrong, and if you get any of your own lore stuff wrong. You got to keep track of all of this
everything at the same time. That's true. That sounds kind of hard.
And you know,
especially when you kind of like
you're trying to make it entertaining.
Decisions. Yeah,
you're trying to make it entertaining. So you're trying to make it move fast, be entertaining, and you're improving dialogue of characters. You're doing maths on the fly. You're doing all of this stuff while also keeping the overall. Like it's a lot of thinking about things at the same time.
Do you feel like over the last 5 years, like you've become a better host in that sense then? Like, do you feel like that's a skill in itself also?
I guess so. I guess so. Because definitely some of those early One Piece D&D episodes are quite rough. I do think I've become better.
But you said you did host some D&D stuff
before then as well,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's very different to do like a live show compared to doing it with friends.
Okay, yeah.
Because when you're running with friends, if there's like dead air, it's fine because you're just playing with friends. But like if there's dead air, there's hundreds of people listening that are just being like,
what's going on?
What's happening?
Where's the next thing?
Yeah. So
that's fair enough. So you kind of got to move things.
You got to, you pace things a little bit quicker.
And you also obviously have the additional hurdle that you need to kind of organize it digitally as well.
Yeah,
right?
Which it's just fine.
Do you feel like was that a hurdle at the beginning, or did it actually open up new?
It makes it easier to do maths.
Yeah,
because it just does the maths for you half the time.
Yeah.
I just the amount of times people see me type in like basic maths equations into the.
Actually.
Well, so if we did like a live table thing and I had to like add the dice up, then it would be like I'd be.
I mean, I kind of always feel like same with the podcast here. What I really like is being in the same room.
I agree with that. Like I think that aspect of it would be a lot better. And one day, maybe, if I can get just a group of British people who live near me that will come to a studio, shout out Stormzy.
Maybe the invitation.
Yeah, that are willing to travel to a studio every other week for 2 hours.
That'd be super sick.
Then maybe. But
I mean, one thing I'd love to do is like probably not happening anytime soon, but I just love to, again, as you say, like not even expecting it to do well, but just like building a little like a game table and playing like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I would do
it. Yeah,
I'd do that.
Yeah, that'd be so.
I would do that. I would fly over to do any sort of tabletop content
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, I would fly over.
Tax deductible.
Well, or you could do what Dimension 20 do, which they do. Instead of doing it every 2 weeks in front of a live audience, they do
a bunch.
They just film it as a batch.
Yeah.
They will do like
and then release it and space
it
out.
Yeah, and space it out. But the live aspect of it is so much fun.
So. It is, I kind of like because there's more banter. Obviously, like if someone has like some issues with their internet connection or something, I don't know what it is. There's like because I don't know. Like I have had fun collabs and like online podcasts before. Mm-hmm. But there is just something about, I don't know. Yeah. And you can kind of like talk before and after and I don't know. But it's really cool that you kind of put it together. I'm very excited for the new space one. That's starting November, you say?
November 6th.
Okay. Well, you gotta, the link for your Twitch is definitely going to be in the comments below.
Oh yeah, shout out.
All right. Well, actually, while we're on the topic of trading card games and stuff, and you have your own card game, so there's only 3 left, but for every guest, well, I guess the next 3 guests, you get to pick a card.
Is it One Piece CCG?
Yeah, it's from the One Piece.
I love the One Piece
action.
CCG.
Oh, hello, let's go.
So I play Koby, because Koby is my favorite One Piece character. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Rustage, and Koby is my favorite One Piece character.
Oh my god.
Because he perfectly encapsulates... my favorite genre of character
is pink hairs.
What?
Pink-haired character?
No. It's characters that start weak and work hard to become strong in both an emotional and physical sense. Because there are so many characters who are... Naruto pisses me off because it's like they're trying to tell the story of this like shunned orphan who like works hard and gets strong. Actually. But he's got fucking 9 tails in him. He's always going to be strong.
And it's the destined guy.
Yeah. It's like, Neji was right. Whatever. Like he's not that character that they think that he is.
He's not him, yeah.
Like I think I love the other stories they tell with Naruto about being shunned for something that's out of your control. And you can see that parallel with that with Gaara. I love that aspect of it. But it's not an underdog story in terms of power. Whilst characters like Koby, I love.
I actually recently I haven't put it out yet, but I just recently finished filming a video because I personally am a really big Koby fan too. And I low-key think that when you actually look at it objectively, where he starts in the story, where Luffy starts, I think there's no character in One Piece that actually has a steeper like growth curve in like all manners.
And he does it because
he just goes through puberty in like 2 years, and he just goes from literal zero. Yeah, he cares.
I don't know. I've been getting into like comic books recently, which is like not a weeby thing, and I am a big Superman fan.
All right,
because I think he's very misrepresented in me. The new Superman movie is really good. Shout out new Superman movie.
So I gotta come clean. I'm like very super casual knowledge when it comes to like has watched the first phase of the MCU and like maybe like Justice League. Right? That's kind of
But I love Superman because he's one of the most powerful people in all of existence, but he chooses to be kind, and that is really like there's this great line in Supergirl, which I know is not Superman, but it still applies, where it's like. She warms her breath to speak to you. She slows down to walk by your side. So it's all of these things like the having a very powerful character who could just conquer the world if he wanted to, but he has such a kind heart that I really love kindness in characters, and it's why I like Koby, because his character is all based on he does what he feels is right,
like a Tom Bombadil.
You know what? I've not seen Lord of the Rings. Don't add this.
Well, that's got to go on your bucket list. Yeah. You're British.
I've not seen Harry Potter, even though I look like him.
It?
No.
Oh, really?
So there's so many movies I never watched because I spent all my youth reading manga.
I feel like, okay, the little detour, I want to go back to One Piece, but you gotta read Lord of the Rings just for your D&D
I know,
stuff.
I know I do. So I know I've got to watch it. I know I've got to read it. And I love fantasy books. Joe Abercrombie is my favorite fantasy author of all time. Shout out Joe Abercrombie, The Blade Itself. I don't know if you've ever read him.
Yeah, I have, yeah. Of course. I mean, like, I went through all the big fantasy series. I mean, Wheel of Time favorite. Is also...
So I've not read Wheel of Time.
Another one you should absolutely check it out.
I've heard good things.
Also, kind of, again, like, I feel like, I don't think it's on purpose, like, maybe Oda has read it, but the entire... Wait, you saw Egghead Island, right? Like, okay, I just want to be careful. But, like, the entire idea that, like, suddenly One Piece is actually taking place... It's not like we're in the Middle Ages. No, we're actually it's basically a sci-fi story.
Let me fucking tell you this. This is a crazy thing. I want to say this on the record, right? When I ran that pirate campaign... You know, the one.
Did you call it?
No, yeah. When I ran that pirate campaign based on One Piece, the twist at the end of that campaign was it was actually our fantasy campaign, but post-apocalyptic, right? And so when that shit happens in One Piece, I'm like, he stole that from me.
But I love that trope too. It's again like I think it's not really a big Wheel of Time spoiler in that sense, because it's more like throughout these like 10 books, or there's even more like that. But you have like these little hints, these like little artifacts.
Yeah.
Of like the past world before the world broke, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of like start getting this feeling like, oh, this is Earth probably.
Yeah,
like it's also never confirmed in any of the books, but it's just kind of this vibe like, oh yeah, like this is humanity. Like all what is now magic is kind of tech that like now looks like magic, right? It gets like pretty So really fun stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I need to read more fantasy, but like obviously I read Mistborn, and then. Nice. I read the Joe Abercrombie, and I just fell in love with I've read all of Joe Abercrombie's books, right? The Blade Itself
all
series.
Of them? Okay.
Well, the Blade Itself,
the
and trilogy, and then you've got the 3 books after that, Best Served Cold and stuff.
I did not read those 3. Yeah.
And then you've got the Age of Madness trilogy, which takes place like 50 years after they're all so good.
Okay,
if you like that original trilogy, The Blade Itself, Before They're Hanged, Last Argument of Kings, Best Served Cold, these books are incredible.
I don't know what it is. I prefer like epilogues so much more to like prequels, I guess.
Well, they take place.
Oh, after.
Sorry, you misheard me. Yeah. No, I agree. I prefer sequels to prequels because I just like seeing how the world evolves.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're a big Game of Thrones person.
No, with Game of Thrones, I was like, when he finishes it, I will read it. It's why I read Joe Abercrombie, because I was like, he finished it.
You'll never read it.
Here's the thing now. So I'm absolutely spoiler free with Game of Thrones right now. Yeah,
completely.
I don't know anything about that fucking show, and I'm holding out hope that he will finish it, and then I will read it.
You have heard that they butchered the series.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm not watching the TV series. But I will read it when he finishes it.
I gotta say, I don't have high hopes that he.
Well, then I guess I will never read it.
That's crazy. Okay, let's get back to One Piece then. Yeah. Okay, so Koby's your favorite character. Do you have like a favorite arc in the series?
Either Whole Cake or Water 7.
Ooh, why Whole Cake? I don't disagree. It's not my favorite, but I think it's very much
Sanji
underrated.
is my second favorite Straw Hat after Usopp. Yeah, I have a type with Usopp and Koby. I was about to say. I like pathetic guys that get better through their own hard work and ingenuity.
Though I will say, funnily enough, at this point, Usopp being your favorite character is not even that of a I feel like everyone kind of loves Usopp. At this point.
He was my favorite character growing up as well. In terms of the Straw Hats, like Water 7. Usopp versus Luffy, I think, is my favorite part of One Piece.
I think just like very, like not only relatable as in this could be you in this world, but it's also the idea of maybe not fitting, like feeling like you're not good enough for the group, right, or something. Like
there's that moment, right, in Water 7 where they get Usopp is worried that they're getting rid of Merry because Merry cannot handle
the stress of
the journey. And Usopp is worried because Merry almost feels like a metaphor for him, where it's like, if he can't be strong enough to handle the journey, will they just get rid of him like they got rid of Merry? And so he feels like it's disrespectful. And I love that kind of his way of thinking and how that butt heads with the rest of the crew.
I also always loved his dream, because you could make the argument that becoming a brave warrior of the sea is something that Usopp has done from the very beginning, just by being technically
because bravery isn't strength. Yeah, yes. Bravery is courage despite.
But it kind of depends on himself to kind of almost, recognize himself as brave, which I think was always like a very fun.
Yeah, because the thing about Usopp is he's depressed.
Yeah.
And, you see that in Thriller Bark where he doesn't get affected by the ghost because the ghost gives you depression. He's already got depression. And he's like, I'm already depressed.
I'm immune.
And that's the thing. He's ultimately, he's got imposter syndrome. He's super insecure about everything he does. So he puts on a front of being like, I'm a god, I'm the best, as a way of lying and pretending when he doesn't need to. And I think he's one of the more nuanced characters. And Sanji's also very interesting. Manga Sanji is very good. Anime Sanji they butcher him a little bit.
Well, I personally do feel like someone at Toei does have a very strong Zoro agenda.
I just,
because all the Zoro fights recently also they look like he's just the main character.
Okay. I have this thing where this will happen. It happens in Naruto too. It happens in a lot of things where in filler, anime directors will add they'll make characters do things that they think, this funny, that fits it, and it's like it completely misrepresents them. And I think a lot of people didn't like Sakura in Naruto because in a lot of the filler, or even if it's not filler arcs but filler scenes, Sakura would do something that's quite annoying. And it's like, if you read the manga, she doesn't do half of the shit that people dislike her for.
I think the biggest thing is though mostly, at least the reason I didn't like her as a character too much, even though that's maybe.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I feel like the biggest thing for me, and I feel like that's probably what a lot of people think too, is the idea of basically throwing yourself at someone who clearly doesn't appreciate you as a person and kind of.
Oh yeah. But she's a teenage girl.
Yeah,
the thing is, Sakura's a flawed character. Which is why she's good. I have this issue. There are so many characters that have flaws, and people are like, "Wow, what a complicated, fun character." And then the moment a character like Sakura has flaws, they're like, "I hate this bitch." And it's like, what are you talking about? She in the first part of Naruto is like this immature teenage girl who's obviously doesn't realize how dangerous the world is yet, and has a crush on a guy that doesn't really like her back. And it's like, yes, of course she'd be like that. And then she has that scene in the forest where she cuts off her hair, and it's like this big moment where she realizes that her vanity needs to take a second place to surviving. And you have lots of these moments that only work because she has these flaws to begin with. Everyone points out there's the scene where she pretend confesses to Naruto. And yeah, she's awful for doing that. I get that. But it also showcases that, like, in a moment of desperation, she's trying to do whatever she can. And it's not the right thing to do, but I think it showcases the sort of character she is. And I like her, like, bullheadedness with the way that she approaches stuff.
So I think I would point out, though, that you can have a character that is well written, and because of the way they're written, you don't like the character, but they're still a great character. And like the same way
and I'm also not, listen, I'm not saying Sakura's perfect. Because Kishimoto, by his own admission, doesn't know how to write women. Sorry, there's a, you know.
Is that a quote?
Like,
I did not know
that.
Did he
which
say
is
that?
like, what do you talk about? Just, you know, just write them normally. So like if I did a tier list, she'd probably be like B+, right? On my tier list of Naruto characters. But I just don't think she warrants the hate.
I mean, I think the thing with Kishimoto, obviously, and I think Naruto has been kind of, stomped on, like the Simpsons, stop kicking him. I think it's just the fact that, like, what also to me has always, and Naruto has been my first. I got into anime quite late in my life, during like my late high school years, and Naruto was my gateway drug. Easily. Like, so I have a lot of love for the show. I think what does set, for example, One Piece and like some other titles like so far above it for me is, you can see that even though Oda still makes certain things up as he goes, or like expands and stuff, you can always tell that there has been a plan, and things are logically consistent. And even when he makes things up, most of the time, there's a natural way it actually ties in. And I feel like for Naruto, you just hit that point where you can tell that it's just like, I guess this happens. Might as well, right?
I mean, that's kind of the same with like Dragon Ball as well, where he wanted to stop at so many points, and they're like, you gotta keep making it. All right, here comes the Boo Saga. But
like, you didn't know this, but there is another level to this.
It's like, okay, fine. But with the reason I break that up is Sanji's similar, where in a lot of like filler, they make him more perverse than he is in the manga. And the thing about Sanji's perversion, the reason why I like Sanji as a character, is that he puts women on, his character is he puts women on a pedestal. He's not, the thing is, a lot of like perverted anime characters, the issue that they have is they objectify women, and that like they see them as lesser and therefore free to oogle at. Like that's like a Mineta or like a fucking Master Roshi, right? But Sanji, he's the opposite, where he puts them on a pedestal and sees women as better than men, right? So he wants to do everything he can to, and it's still a character flaw. It's still like, it's still not.
I think that's what I do try to explain that to people too, where they say, oh, this is so, but like, as you say, it is, and it's very much on, and it is meant as a gag sometimes too, but it also holds Sanji back on so many points, like the fact that he can't punch women. It is like brings himself and his entire crew into trouble. Like, and in a
way, it's still in a way objectifying, but it's objectifying in a different ways because it's putting someone on a pedestal. It's seeing them as something. It's not seeing he's not seeing them as a person. He's seeing them as this like god-like figure.
I also feel sorry to interrupt you also because I definitely want to hear your thoughts. But I think that's probably part of the reason why you like Whole Cake Island is because I think Sanji, with his perversion, has gotten a lot more of a character. Like, actually, I think that Sanji might be the Straw Hat who, post time skip, has gotten the biggest character development per se. Because Luffy, even though he does change a little bit throughout the story and he learns a little bit more how to be a leader and becomes somewhat more serious, which I think is why Oda was like, year 5 needs to be goofy because Luffy almost becomes too cool in a way. But he's fairly flat. Zoro so far still fairly flat.
I think flat character arcs. Luffy is a catalyst for other characters.
Yes, and Zoro just is like, I need to get stronger because that's like I'm cool, right? I think for Sanji again, the entire, like, we learn in his backstory in Whole Cake Island, obviously, that his mother was the only person who was ever kind to him, right?
He has reason for it.
Yes,
he has reason for it. I think Whole Cake Island really showcases Sanji's story in such a wonderful way, and it's such good character writing from Oda, that whole arc. And it showcases that Sanji's biggest strength, but also his biggest flaw, is his kindness, ultimately, because he is probably one of the kinder crew members. I mean, you can see that with literally the first arc you see Sanji in, when he feeds Jin because he feels like everybody, was it Gin? Gin or Jin?
Gin,
Gin. Because he feels like everyone deserves to eat, showcases his kindness. And it's the thing that runs throughout the whole series for Sanji, is his kindness. And I think he's such a wonderful. Who is it? I have a friend, Melon T. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I think she has a really good video about Sanji. Who goes over a lot of those similar points.
Yeah. I mean, I also think you have these like. It's been going on up to Elbaf even right now, where you have like this little mini arc that started in Whole Cake Island, where, you know, as you say, the original flaw is that Sanji, you know, objectifies women by like deifying them.
Yeah.
But then that way he can't allow, like, he needs to be the gold. He's not allowed to hurt them, but he's also like that in a way now prevents him from helping like other,
in a way,
you know, people.
I really
and
loved
you have this moment with Robin.
Yes, I was gonna say in Wano where he calls for Robin's help is so good.
Like allowing himself to not be the white knight, right? But like actually be like, okay, well, I know my flaw, but at least like I'm gonna treat like you even though you're a woman.
And it showcases that he also like respects Robin's strength as well as like a crew member. And I find it really interesting with Sanji is that I think pretty much every single woman I know who's into One Piece loves Sanji. And the only people I know that dislike Sanji are dudes. And I don't know what that means. You can take, you know, that's just anecdotally, you can get whatever you want from that. Whatever you want to read from that. But
but the thing is that Sanji is like, because he is vulnerable and flawed, right? I think that's something that, you know, it makes him also like attractive in that sense, maybe to like a reader, compared to maybe if you look at like at Zoro. Like
I mean a lot of women like Zoro.
We're like two dudes here, right? But like maybe like I love Zoro. He's like a great character, but he doesn't seem very approachable. Maybe if you look at him like that way, right?
Yeah, I mean a lot of people like Zoro as well.
Yeah,
I think the Straw Hat Pirates, why they work so well and why One Piece works so well is that they are all very interesting, unique, and well-written characters that have good dynamics with each other, and the story revolving around them. It's just a story about a found family. And I feel like One Piece is at its strongest, in my opinion, when it focuses on that. And unfortunately for me, some of the more recent stuff has been focusing more, and it has to, but it's been focusing more on like external stuff. And it's
obviously the bigger the cast gets, the harder. But I do agree. I wish there were, and that's what people always say. They wish there were more moments with the crew. Right? Yeah.
Why Whole Cake and Water 7 are my favorites, because they really focus on a character from the Straw Hats, or characters from the Straw Hats, like Robin, Usopp, and all of these characters in Water 7 getting so much time and attention. And Whole Cake, it's like Sanji and Luffy and Nami to some extent having all of, you know, and it was because they were able to separate some of the Straw Hats so you could really focus on their stories that makes it work so well.
I do agree.
And
Which funnily enough, like, didn't work out. I mean, I don't dislike Dressrosa. I think Dofi is probably like the best villain in the story.
I disagree.
I want to get back to it, but I do feel like
I think it's fine.
I do feel like as you say, like the formula that, like, because the same potential was theoretically there for Dressrosa, but it wasn't executed quite as well, maybe, as in Whole Cake Island.
Well, for Dressrosa, it's Law's story, isn't it? It's not really anything.
Mostly,
The Straw Hats feel a little bit disconnected. Sabo annoys me a little bit, his existence. It just feels like I know this is like quite a common opinion. People are very divided on it. I think Sabo is fine as a character. I like him.
Yeah.
But it does feel like Ace died, so we give him another older brother who has fire powers. And it's whatever.
I think it works.
I think Doflamingo is a decent villain. However, I feel like it was a bit of a mistake to make him, and this is 100% my opinion.
Dressrosa's main villain?
No, not Dressrosa's main villain. To just make him a strong guy. Do you know what I mean? Because his whole thing was he had quite a vague, he's a manipulative. But his devil fruit was so vague that he just started pulling shit out of his, here's a string clone, here's a bird cage, here's all of this. It's like, what are you doing, right? And it makes the fights less interesting because you're like, I don't know what's going on. And also, he's set up to be this like master manipulator. He's literally a puppet master.
Yeah.
He controls people as part. I wish his devil fruit, the only aspect of his devil fruit was controlling people like marionettes. And I wish that the fight against Doflamingo wasn't just Luffy versus Doflamingo. He's got to do gear for. I wish he just controlled Zoro and Luffy was forced to fight his friends, because then you have all this character stuff with Luffy, like I want to see how that story would play out, with Luffy being forced to fight his own crewmates, or whatever, or like to get to Doflamingo. And having Doflamingo just be this strong guy who Luffy has to just beat with strength. True. Like, he can still be strong. I'm not saying he has to be weak.
I guess there was this thing with Bellamy, but it was just like a little section,
it's like, it's whatever. It's like, he's no different then to most of the, like, he's no different to Crocodile, right? Because it's like, Crocodile's a strong guy. We've already established he's a strong guy with a powerful devil fruit that Luffy has to do something to overcome. Doflamingo being a strong guy with a powerful devil fruit that Luffy has to get stronger to overcome. It's just the same thing, and it makes it way less interesting from a reader's perspective, where Doflamingo was the perfect chance to do something different. And I don't know,
I think that's a cool take. He doesn't make it. I've never thought about it that way.
He doesn't. It just means he's not my favorite villain. I think I love his backstory stuff.
Who would be your
Blackbeard's my favorite.
Blackbeard, is he going to be a villain though?
I don't know. Blackbeard's my favorite at the moment, but he is Mr. Potential Man. But he's my favorite only because he feels like he's actually... Everything he does in the story directly affects Luffy's story in a way that Luffy doesn't realize. Or he does realize, or whatever. Like, he has waves, right? The whole Ace stuff is because of Blackbeard.
He ripples, yeah.
And Blackbeard has plans that he sets in motion, and then he achieves those plans in really interesting ways that you don't really know. Like, he does this whole stuff with Impel Down just so he can get a crew. He does all this stuff.
Well, he orchestrated
Marineford so that he could steal Whitebeard's devil fruit.
He even joins Whitebeard's crew, arguably, to get both the Darkness fruit and the Whitebeard's fruit. Yeah.
And I love that as a character, because he's also a good example of a character that when he's, he starts weak. He starts quite weak. But now he's one of the biggest threats because he's, through his own, machinations, you can see this, his own story playing out, similar to Koby.
How do you feel about Buggy?
I like Buggy.
Because he's kind of like a character who also basically starts off fairly weak, but then kind of...
He's still fairly weak.
Fails his way.
Yeah. I like that as like a character arc. Problem with putting my opinions out there is that I know they'll change, and then people will look back at this video and be like, this is weird. People will disagree with opinions I no longer hold.
That's the fun part, though, when people go back. Like, I still get comments under my videos from like 3 years ago, and people are like, well, that's not true. Like, we now know. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think that's really interesting. I mean, I think Blackbeard is, and it obviously there's so much still potential there, and there's like some new, like, obviously, like, we don't, like, I know you're not completely caught up. There's some new stuff that we know about him and stuff. But there's still so much mystery around him and everything, right? That I guess the fact that he's this open book that has so much potential, being written as this mirror to Luffy also.
I like Akainu too, just because I like the idea of a Marine so focused on his job. He's such a...
I will say I have a really out there take that I've been getting some shit for, I think, from my fans. But I personally think that Akainu, after the time skip, has had a surprisingly... strong character arc.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Like, he's been, because he was the guy like, oh, all pirates bad, and like need to kill him. And then now he's like in the like the bureaucratic position, right? He needs to do politics. He needs to like go up to the Gorosei.
I really love idealists getting into positions of power that they've always wanted and realizing there's so much more to it than they you see this all the time in real life, but you also just see it in fiction when fictions tell that story where it's like, oh, I want to be king and then I'm going to do this and then you become king. Like, oh God, that's a Joe Abercrombie spoiler, but I was going to, you could cut this out. Joe Abercrombie spoiler, Jazaldan Luther in the original trilogy, right? Yeah. It's this like idealist version of being a king. And then when he becomes it, you realize that it's like, this is, well, he didn't want to be king, but he wanted to be a nobleman, but he realizes how little power he really has, and it completely changes his character.
Did you watch Andor?
No, I want to.
Oh my God,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like so obsessed with the writing of that show. Like, it's already been out for like, I think like 4 months now, but it's because the guy who wrote it, like, he was like studying like revolutions and politics and everything for like years while writing the show.
Yeah.
And so everything. Not only is everything that these characters do, like, it feels so real, but you actually have smart villains.
Yeah.
So the main characters need to be even smarter to actually have a chance.
Yeah.
And it was like so refreshing to see, and this is kind of what Blackbeard feels like too, where it's so refreshing to have like bad guys actually be smart and be like, oh yeah, why don't we just do this? Like, Yes. Like why?
But I think there needs to be a variety, right? Smart bad guys only work if there's dumb bad guys, and morally complex bad guys only work if there's morally simple bad guys. I am such a big fan. I keep talking about Naruto, this fucking One Piece thing, but I'm such a big fan of Danzo because he's just a greedy bastard who's
I want all the eyes.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that as a character, so that you can have Spandam. I fucking love Spandam. That's a really good example.
I mean, Enna's Lobby is my favorite arc.
Spandam is such a good villain, because he's such a pathetic example of somebody who just wants to do whatever he can to elevate his own position.
But it's also... it's also... okay. How do I phrase this? I think he also works because I think we all know people
who are like Spandam, right? Exactly. So, but that's exactly the thing. It's such a good allegory for things that people relate to, but it makes it all the more satisfying when they take him down, right? Yeah. If every fucking villain's like this morally complex character, you lose a little bit of that because not.
But it works also because like if it's just evil for evil, like. There's still, I think, a backstory there. Like
he's got a motivation.
He's got like the nepotism going on, right? His dad was big in the government.
He's got a motivation.
And it's kind of like seeing, you have someone who kind of doesn't have moral, like not only he neither has moral integrity nor like because Lucci is like, you have both in like, right? You have like a Garp who has like the moral integrity. You have Lucci who doesn't have the morals, but he has the power to back up his position. He has neither. He just has like this position that he's inherited from his dad, and he's got like a big golden button.
It showcases that nepotism, and that like I like that it shows unqualified people in positions of power because of the situation that surrounds us. I really like Spandam as a character. I just think he's so great as a character in this arc, and
he's like, obviously not only that, he contrasts. Like, he's like the contrast to Robin's entire character arc.
100%. 100%. Somebody who's qualified, somebody who's smart, somebody who's...
And got punished where they came
who
from.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, Spandam gets rewarded for who he is, despite being
not
stupid.
Having anything.
They're complete opposite characters. It's perfect. And there's little microcosms of story that's being told throughout there, which I do really appreciate. Again, that's why Water 7 is so good. You have those evil characters, and then you have the more complex ones. Yeah. To contrast with that, even if they're just like intelligent or they.
Well, and again, you have it like for One Piece at least, like also the microcosm of the Straw Hats, as you say. You have that even within the good guys too, right? Yeah. Like a spectrum of people who like Sanji more.
But this is the thing is, what I love about One Piece is actually like nobody's really the good guy.
No, yeah.
You just have a bunch of people with different perspectives.
Which is actually surprising because, like, when you start watching the show, you kind of feel like it's fairly like black and white, and then like but like it gets more and more morally gray as you go along.
Yeah, and I love it when stories aren't afraid to do that. Yeah, and it's okay for the story to pick a side, I guess, but it's just you
saw the Vegapunk message thing,
right? You're right.
I love not only did I love the fact that suddenly One Piece is this post-apocalyptic, almost sci-fi world, and there's all this lost ancient tech. And we're like kind of like we got like reset to the Stone Age basically. I also love that Vegapunk said, there were these two sides, like what now became the world government and basically Joy Boys, Ancient Kingdom, right? And Vegapunk is like, well, they both had their ideas, and I don't know who was actually right. Which I'm like, it's not like one of them is evil and one of them is good. It's like,
because the world government may be evil now, but it doesn't necessarily say they
always were,
right? Yeah, and I like that a lot. I like. There's a lot there.
And I feel like there has been a theme in One Piece in general of the idea that time corrupts and
power corrupts, time corrupts, comfortability corrupts in a way. I know, I love it. It's a good show. It's a good manga. The show is okay. The manga's great.
Whenever people ask me like, "What's your favorite anime?" and I don't answer One Piece,
I can't say
they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "It's my favorite manga.
It's my favorite manga.
Like my favorite ongoing piece of fiction.
My favorite anime is Odd Taxi.
Ooh, nice!
I love Odd Taxi.
It's a soundtrack on that one.
I just love it. It's a complete little story. I will say, here's my Wano hot take. Everyone says, "Yeah, the animation's rough," but in Wano the animation's really good. So. What I don't like about Wano is they're still doing the same thing. So the problem One Piece has is that they don't do filler arcs. So they just pad out their episodes, right?
What do you mean?
So at Dressrosa, it's just like, and Whole Cake, there's lots of like 5 minutes of somebody just standing there and like reaction shots. And in Wano, they still do this, but instead they just pad out the fighting. So it takes like 2 minutes for somebody to swing a sword because they've added a million effects, which is better, but it doesn't mean it's good. It's still suffering from the same issues, where everything's padded really slowly.
I agree. I think that's why I'm very excited, but also nervous about the new anime that they're making, the One Piece.
I think that should be good.
Because it has so much, like, doing One Piece seasonally has so much potential.
Yeah, if they do it seasonally and they adapt it.
Like, watching something like Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer, which has, like, this beautiful animation, and, like, actually, I personally felt like this, are you into Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah.
Okay, like I felt like the second season coming from the manga, I was like shocked how quickly paced things were. I was like, you could have actually like chilled a little bit with this one, right? I was like, damn. So I think, having
One Piece
really
like that would be so much better.
Yeah, I really hope that's the direction they take with it.
Because the problem is that when you have big attacks, it tells the story differently. So there's a really good example of this in Punk Hazard, where in the manga, Luffy punches Caesar Clown and just bam, it's one panel because he's so much stronger than Caesar Clown. In the anime, though, to pace it out, they make him go, which is like, they've just done that to add like 20 extra seconds to pad it out. That's what they've thought. But what it's done is it's made Luffy look weaker than Caesar Clown because he's had to struggle to punch him. And it's completely changed the story and the meaning of that scene. And
I think a classic example is also the Zoro fight at the bridge in Wano in the snow against Killer, where suddenly like it looks like it's the final fight of the. It's like animated insanely well, but like the ground is like breaking into blocks, and I'm like, oh, is this the final fight of the show?
I get it. It is cool, and it makes for good AMVs, and and I like it. I don't know. I mean, and there is an argument to be said about some of the manga being a little bit more extrapolated out because he does pack a lot into those panels.
And also, obviously, there's so much lore being dropped now. And I personally am someone who is mostly in love with the more political and more like world building, like character building side of the story. I think One Piece has good fights, but I don't think fights is what makes One Piece.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, so
it's not. Yeah,
and I think the anime is just tailored more towards people who want to see great clashes and want to see devil fruit powers and stuff. Yeah,
maybe so. I think what they were doing originally, where they would adapt like cover stories, so they like the Koby Helmeppo stuff.
I don't understand why they stopped that.
That's free fucking content.
And
that's canon,
and it's so relevant. And all of them are insanely
all relevant. And the manga, when you're reading the manga, you get that for free, and you're like, oh, this is great because it's adding extra lore stuff.
Dude, like if you watch the anime, you just never know that Enel went to the moon and found like a whole civilization there. With like,
they did it with the Koby Helmeppo stuff. And I think it made that so much better. Yeah. Because then you could expand that. Like, you can do that.
And you can just go and ask Oda. Because, Oda is now on, like, fucking 8 different projects all the time anyways. On, like, a movie and the live action and whatnot. Just ask him, like, hey, we wanted to, like, expand a little bit. Can you give us, like, a bit of a...
And then if you don't care, you can skip those on a rewatch. Because with, like, other anime that do filler arcs, you can just skip them. And then you can just watch it normally. Yeah. But One Piece, you can't skip filler because it's in every episode.
The One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I did tease this to you. I want to try something new with you today for the podcast. I have 3 questions.
Okay.
That are related to your content.
Oh fuck!
And I want to find out if you can actually.
Okay.
Guess.
I might be the dumbest person alive. Actually,
let me open up my wonderfully that I've one of my team members has wonderfully crafted for me. Thank you, Peyton.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Peyton.
Shout
out to my boy. Okay, so we have its title, Lyrical Miracle Lyric Quiz for you, Rustage.
Yep.
And we're going to have 2 lines of a song, a harder option first, and then an easier one.
Mm-hmm. And then I have to...
And you have to guess the title and or character the song is about.
Okay.
There's going to be 3 songs all about One Piece.
So they're all One Piece?
Yeah, so it narrows it down. And these could be your songs, or they could be a verse where you featured on.
Oh, fuck.
About One Piece.
Oh, shit. Right. I can't remember my own lyrics.
And it's going to...
The One Piece songs are older now, actually, as well.
It's going to probably sound pretty lame if I read, like, rap lyrics, but you're going to, like, please have to all...
It's okay. Read it. It makes it harder.
Suffer through it.
Makes it harder.
All right. Song 1. Okay. First line. Most dangerous crew on the map is back in pursuit. That having the task they couldn't do.
Back in pursuit, task couldn't do. Because it's A to the oo rhyme scheme. Yes. I know how it flows. Back in pursuit, task couldn't do.
Task they couldn't do.
Is this one from one of the ciphers?
It is from a Cypher.
Yes. Is it Supernova Cypher?
It is not.
No. No. Repeat it again.
Most dangerous crew on the map is back in pursuit.
It's Will of D Cypher.
It is the Will of D Cypher.
Is it the Monkey D Dragon Fruit verse?
I think it was, but it's definitely the Will of D. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Was that?
I think Dragon makes sense. I think
Yeah, because it would have been Ham Sandwich. Shout out Ham Sandwich.
Nice.
He's good.
You were so worried you wouldn't get these.
So the ciphers are a really good opportunity. I love ciphers because I just love the idea of lots of people rapping as different One Piece characters or other anime characters. But they're also a really good opportunity for me to like showcase a lot of smaller rappers who I think are better than me, being able to rap verses and feature them.
Actually, this podcast for me is like a really fun way to actually interact with other creators because I've been like so scared of asking people to collab on my channel. I'm always like sweating. Like I think you did like a Devil Fruit for the one collab video. Yeah. I think that's one of 2 collab videos I have on my channel because I'm always like, I don't want to bother people.
Yeah, you don't want to bother people.
Yeah. All right, second song. Ran this shit an activist acting like they Captain Kid, they Captain Mid.
Oh, is that is this from Shanks?
No.
Shit, I know the song. I had to let the Captain Kid, the Captain Mid. I know how it flows. See, I recognize the lyrics.
That's good. If you're not sure, I can always give you the like slightly easier second line too.
No, I got this.
You got this?
Acting like this. Is this also from a cypher?
It is not.
Okay, no, it's definitely a song. It's quite recent, this one. I think.
I mean, it depends on what you define as recent, I guess.
2024?
It could be 2023, 2024.
So is it 2023? You can't remember. You don't have that.
I mean, I have written down the but that would make sense. 2023 probably makes more sense. I would guess.
The ear rhyme scheme as well. You can see that. I did like the Captain Kid, the Captain Mid, and it's not. Is it? Oh, it's Gear 5 Luffy.
Yes.
Yes, of course it's Gear 5 Luffy. Because when I made my Shanks rap, that scene hadn't happened yet.
That was a feature from you, though, with DPS, right?
Is it the DPS one?
It was the DPS
Daddy
one.
Fast Steps, shout out. Yes.
All right, last one. Line is, so line up the bodies, they pile up. You're gambling your life, so now you're mine. So wise up, can't stop me, your time's up. It's probably the hardest.
Is it an old one? Is it really old?
I do not know what year it's from. It might be older, though. Yeah.
Is it Nami?
No.
Okay. This is so embarrassing for like people who are fans of my music.
But you don't know the song.
Yeah.
That was the.
Can you repeat
idea.
it?
Yes. So line up the bodies, they pile up. Well, I gotta get the flow right. So line up the bodies, they pile up. You're gambling your life, so now you're mine. So wise up, can't stop me, your time's up.
This is my lyrics. I rap this.
Yes. It's also your song.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's definitely my song. You're gambling, and it's One Piece.
It's One Piece.
And it's Trafalgar Law.
Yes.
Oh my god, I got it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's definitely. Oh, that song sucks, man. That's such a bad song.
Older one.
It's bad. That's a bad song. I'm sorry you had to listen to that one.
Nah.
Oh my god. Holy moly.
You got them all three though without the second line.
I did eventually.
I felt like I was not, because those were good memory then. Damn. Because the second lines would be like a little bit more obvious. What it would
easier
be.
Because it's like mentioned something related to the character more.
Look at him. He was like, I can't remember my lyrics, but
I can't remember those lyrics.
No,
so it's just.
That's really good. Heck yeah.
You made it easier by saying it was all One Piece.
Fair enough. Yeah. What's your? Have you done anything recently about like any of the new anime stuff?
I've done
like Dandadan, right? You did
I did. I've done 2 tracks about Dandadan.
Yeah.
I did one with Anora VT, which is just my Dandadan rap, which is the 2 main characters.
Do you do a Sakamoto Days one?
Did Sakamoto Days.
Okay. You gotta watch that one.
Underrated classic, my Sakamoto Days rap. Yeah. So I've done a few of the new ones.
Are there any, like, you read manga also, right?
Yeah.
Are there any manga that you are currently reading that don't have an anime yet, but that you're kind of excited to maybe like get to rap about?
I've started just like no
Kagurabachi or anything?
No, because I'm
Blue Lock rap.
Blue Lock's been requested, and I'm not sure. Maybe I will do it.
That'd be kind of cool.
There's a few things on my list. Is there anything you'd suggest that I should do a rap?
I think Blue Log would be super. I think that goes pretty hard.
Okay.
Like Isagi goes pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty hard. Or Rin.
Okay, I'll do it.
I think for One Piece, once you catch. Wait. Again. Okay. What's the last thing you remember from One Piece?
Imposter Shanks.
Imposter Shanks. So Loki
has appeared. Yes.
I think a Loki rap goes pretty hard.
Yeah. When he's in the anime.
Yeah. Loki.
For sure,
goes
when he's
hard.
in the anime.
Yeah, he's a great character. I think otherwise, I'm trying to think like of some. I mean, I've been digging Witch Watch personally.
Witch Watch, yeah.
I think that you can get really goofy with that one.
Could be,
potentially.
I was thinking about doing 2B Hero X.
Oh, that could be a nice one too. Yeah.
There's a few things I have on my docket at the moment. You never know.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think Blue Lock goes really hard.
Okay,
I mean,
it's up and on my list for sure. I need to
do
it.
I'm not sure if you're into football, but
I'm into lower league football.
All right.
So listen, I'm a man of many hobbies. I don't just read anime, manga and stuff. I'm into professional wrestling. I am currently
talking about you're gonna
the
go
Mighty Don't Kneel, which is the faction of Zack Sabre Jr. from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I am into sports inexplicably because you can be nerdy about sports. But football, do you understand how the football pyramid works? The football pyramid? Because you're German, so you would know, right?
The football pyramid?
Yeah. You know the Bundesliga?
Yeah, of course.
You know that if you lose the Bundesliga, you go down to the Bundesliga.
Oh, you mean like the promotion? The promotion.
Relegation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, my local team is in the 6th division. It's called National League South.
Okay.
Is the division.
I think England's
pyramid goes wide.
It's very different.
Goes wide. And what I love about the football pyramid is that you're always playing for something, even if you're a lower league team. Because if you're in like the 4th division, you're playing to get promoted.
Yeah.
And then if you play well enough for enough seasons, you're going to be in the Premier League. You're going to be at the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in American sports. If you're like a AAA baseball team and you win the league, if you're a G League team and you win the league, it doesn't really fucking mean anything. You just won the G League.
Or if you lose, it also doesn't really
mean anything. Yeah. But like there's risk. There's risk. If you're in the Premier League and you lose, you go down to Championship League.
And then maybe if you get really good, you get into the Champions League too. Yeah.
And you go down, you go up, and I love that. So I love watching lower league football because it's more fun. And it's, there's less
also the Premier League probably is like the biggest problem right now for football together. Though.
Premier League just kind of boring sometimes.
It's mostly the money, I feel.
It's like a money thing. Money.
It's like crazy.
You have less, there's no like foreign billionaires buying National League South clubs unless they're Ryan Reynolds.
Like was it Wrexham?
Yeah, except for Wrexham, right? But like in general, nobody's doing that. So there's a lot of more of like local. The games are a lot more unpredictable. They're more fun and lower skilled football is more fun to watch.
Well, the thing is also,
happens.
I mean, and sorry to like nerd out for a second for people who are not into football, but it applies to basketball or whatever sports you're into. Even if you go to like Division 4 or 5. If you feel like you're a decent hobby level player of that sport, if you play against someone from the 5th division or 6th division, they will fucking kill you,
especially
on
with
like
English football.
Yeah,
right. I love the concept of you could create a football team today, and then if you were good enough, end up in the Premier League. You couldn't just create an NBA team. But I love the NBA. I love watching basketball.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like watching baseball. I also in Japan.
That's like baseball. I don't know.
Have you not watched baseball in Japan? Because baseball in Japan is incredible.
But I don't like that. So I think maybe this is me being a German football fan where like stadiums get pretty crazy and we have pretty good atmosphere and stuff and like stuff gets wild. If you go with the wrong shirt in the wrong corner, like staff comes and they're like, you need to go somewhere else or take like this shirt off. Like I think in football it's hilarious. You can, if you want to, you can go to like the ultras of like the Liverpool fans with like an Everton shirt or something and stand between them and see what happens, right? That's on you. But you can have fun with it. But like in Japan, they're like very strict. They have like a lot of rules. If you don't chant properly, you get kicked out. And I'm like, if it's all choreographed,
I get you. In Korea, it was a lot of fun. Baseball in Korea was super fun. And I love it. And they do have songs, but you're not quiet. It's all sort of led by the fans.
Fair enough.
And
I'm also a little bit Otani Shohei fatigued, I have to admit. Like there's a game you can play, like when you land in Japan, you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
You can play a game like how many seconds it takes after leaving the plane until you run into like
it's
usually within a minute.
With Hyungmin Son in Korea.
Oh, really?
It's like how many adverts have him in it.
God damn it. He plays in the MLS.
He
America
just
right
went
now.
to MLS now, but he was in Tottenham. But yeah, I get that.
Well, are you from London?
Yeah, I'm from London.
Do you have any of the big London clubs that you're originally affiliated with?
I am a fan of Brighton because my mum's from Brighton.
Okay.
So that's the team. If I had to support a Premier League club, but there's a local London club, which I won't say because it will properly dox me if I say the club, because it is like 10 minutes from my house.
Okay.
It is literally just the name of the town I'm in.
So sick.
But that's my local club
No, I totally feel you. I mean, I'm from Munich, so like I am like have always been
Munich.
like
my dad works in Munich for so my dad worked in Stuttgart and then would go to Munich often for like 10 years, so he's fluent in German.
That's so cool.
And I'm not. Ik niet goed in Duitsland spreken. Ik ben een domkopf, ja? Du bist ein Schmetterling.
Schmetterling?
Ja, ist das gut? Ist das gut?
Sehr gut, sehr gut. Ja, ziemlich gut.
Yeah,
very nice. Schmetterling is very cute. A butterfly. Oh, thank you. But yeah, no, I've been like enjoying. Like I had my on and off phases with football just because. Well, I feel like 3 years ago during like around COVID, right before and then like around, like I was like, it was like all the money and like the too many games. But I've been getting really into it recently again. And it's been really fun, like watching Harry Kane obviously on the team and everything. So
he can finally win a trophy.
Or Michael Lise, have like a bot like because I've been like going to like futsal stuff and whatnot.
That's so fun.
Super fun.
And do you watch any football games here in Japan? Because I'm gonna go see Hokkaido play.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Not Hokkaido, sorry, Hiroshima play.
So what I did the first time this year, and I'm like, I think gonna make a tradition, is that I think it's usually January or February, you have the Zenkoku, so the all Japan like high school tournament, which is
so much fun.
Super awesome. And sometimes like you have like a 17-year-old who he went somewhere in the Premier League. I forgot. Like he just got 17-year-old guy midfielder. He just got like scouted away. Yeah. Like from the tournament.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's awesome.
Super cool to watch. Cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna go see volleyball here as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Tokyo Great
big.
Bears. Yeah. This Saturday, I'm gonna go see him play.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. In a way, like volleyball is fun. Even basketball has been kind of fun to watch here. I don't know, I don't know what it is about baseball.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just enjoy watching sports in other countries.
What my American friends tell me usually is that you like go there to socialize and drink. And
I would say never go to a baseball game by yourself.
Yeah,
it's definitely a thing you do as like a group activity or like at least with one other person.
I kind of lack a little bit I don't like like even sport, like what I love about football the most, and like I'm biased obviously because I grew up with it and that's like the main sport in Germany too, right? But I feel like it's always, things are moving, right? And you have like stuff going on. It's very unpredictable too.
Yeah, I feel that.
Baseball is like, because even if you go like when you have basketball, you stop playing if you dribble too much or there's a foul or whatever. But it's dynamic. It's like intense.
Yes.
Same for tennis, right?
Yes.
I feel like tennis. With baseball, but yeah, I feel like I don't know, with baseball, it's a little bit too static for my taste.
It's one of the things you do need to understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe.
And you watch it. The thing is, that's why volleyball I think is the best live sport.
Super fun.
Because here's the thing: football and baseball, I kind of club together a little bit. It's that you have these big highs when someone hits a home run, when somebody gets a goal, these huge highs, and then but it does go down to a bit of a lull depending if there's like stuff happening and whatever. It's like basketball, it's constant. Like it's not got the biggest peaks, but there's stuff happening.
Yeah.
But
volleyball is.
But with basketball, occasionally though they'll have timeouts for like because of a foul or the coach has to do something, and you have these breaks in play that you just have to sit there as you wait for it to end. And sometimes
like commercial.
It ends. Yeah, exactly, for them to air commercials, but also like during the end of games, there's going to be lots of that because they want to make sure they get the right plays in.
Yeah.
But volleyball has the high stuff happening like basketball.
The ball is quite literally always in the air.
Always in the air, but then also it doesn't have the pauses. Like,
that's true. It just keeps going.
So it just keeps going. And so it's constantly fun the whole time.
I do agree with that. I think what I like about football is that while most, you know how like every sport has now been like super analyzed to death, right? And you have like all these predictive stuff. What I like about football is like compared to even volleyball or basketball, where like you have very specific game actions that can happen, and based on that there's only so many things that can act. Like in basketball you can have a shoot, you have a foul, like the ball goes outside.
I think there's a lot more to basketball than people realize.
No,
I love
but like I do love with football generally that it kind of like like there's like so many options. You have no idea what's gonna happen.
No, I get that. But I'm into sports as well.
Nice.
I watch tennis, all of that. Why not? I
think now that we landed on sports, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. Probably.
We've gone so far.
Let's quickly know, like, where can people find your stuff? Obviously, everything's going to be in the description, but if there's anything you'd like to shout out.
I don't know. My name is Rustage. I'm Rustage is my real last name. There's only 100 Rustage in the world, so I'm the most famous Rustage by default.
Let's go.
You can just look me up.
And Twitch to your the link to your Twitch is going to be in the description.
Yeah, it's Rustage _ because somebody stole Rustage.
God damn
it.
Stole a horror too. Yeah,
I know.
All right. Thanks so much for listening.